It's Halloween, and you know what that means. Designing for fear. Designing for horror. Designing for outdated design principles? Yes, let us tell you a tale of a bygone era, using game design that was once perfectly sound, but may never exist again. This is the tale of Makaimura, of Ghosts N Goblins. To understand our tale, you must first understand the context of its release. Everyone knows that Ghosts N Goblins is crazy hard, and only gives you 2 hits before you die, but few really appreciate its place in gaming history. Super Mario Bros. Raced to shelves by marrying level-based design with an actual ending, but Ghosts N Goblins came out just a week later to put Capcom on the map in this hip new, actually beatable game market, long before Mega Man was even a concept. The story is simple, but immediately charming and understandable. You and the princess are relaxing in a graveyard doing something that involves no clothes.
Sexy dynamite.
When Satan suddenly attacks and steals her away. Like Satan does. You put on your armor and set off on your way to save her. Arthur himself is instantly likable with his goofy jump and his heart-patterned boxer shorts. Throwing weapons is quick and responsive. Music is infectiously catchy. This is a story you want to see resolved. This built up a quasi-mythical status for the game. Somehow going through actual hell made you want to keep going with it, despite its relentless difficulty. Every time you ran into an unfair trap or bogus enemy placement, you couldn't really blame anyone but yourself. After all, it was you who kept putting in the quarters for a shot at taking down Satan himself. A red Aremer near the end of Stage 1 will prove to be the stopping point for most players, but it's Stage 2, Ghost Town, that embodies Ghosts N Goblins' philosophies best. Aremer picks his teeth with the bones of those not up for the challenge on his own, so Ghost Town is the first full level to test the player's mettle. The stage starts with blue demons that dart around the screen in almost completely random patterns. Immediately following this is a cheap leap of faith onto a platform that'll drop when you stand on it. This area, known as the Ice Palace, is pretty short, but the checkpoint is placed immediately after to create the illusion that you're making more progress than you actually are. Every time you spawn, you'll be greeted by the Ghost House, one of the most aggravating obstacles in the game, because the patterns are randomized every time you spawn. Don't think that's it though, oh no! The stage's biggest obstacle hits you full force right after, in an area I'll lovingly title the Ogre Mansion. This maze of ladders is almost unfeasibly unfair. With there being so many little ogres darting around and you only having 2 hits of health yourself, you might think they can go down pretty easy. 2 hits, 3 hits maybe, 4 if it's a particularly bulky one, and I can't go any further than Nope! Every one of them, every single one, takes 10 hits. 10! Not only that, but they charge at you when they see you, so you'll have to mash as fast as you possibly can just to kill them in time. In fact, it's actively impossible to kill them sometimes if you have a lesser weapon. Oh, but you can just stand back and shoot them from a distance, right? Nope, they have projectiles of their own. Jump over them? Bad chance, they're way too tall. Go around them? Cute, as if there weren't other ogres on the top levels too. No, you are pretty much boned for options if you don't react absolutely perfectly. But hey, give the devil his due. No one said Satan played fair. Even if you execute it perfectly, it's still not enough. You need to be lucky too. That's because there are birds that come in from the side at completely random intervals. You can avoid them with a jump, but doing so means that you get less hits on the ogre, so you can only pray that they don't come in at an inopportune time. On top of that, ogres from higher levels can drop projectiles on you, and there's a time limit, adding to the chaos. And the best part of it? Near the end, climbing this ladder drops a torch down from out of nowhere, and in a completely unavoidable location. An unassuming player might pick it up, and if they do, it's a fate worse than death, because the torch sticks with them even after they die. They can get a faster weapon by grinding the imps from earlier on, but honestly, they're better off starting from the beginning. Yes, collecting a power-up can doom you to an infinite state of failure. This game pulls no punches. The last areas of the stage aren't particularly noteworthy outside of the money put in to test the player's greed, and the boss being exactly twice as hard as the first one, but it's challenging enough that a player will lose a lot simply from shot nerves. After all, getting through the Ogre Mansion is something you can never forget. It lingers with you like a trauma, without a tinge of pride, only relief that it's over. I mean, until you have to do it again because Ghosts N Goblins makes you beat it twice. Then it's like going through it with PTSD. But despite all of that, I still can't call it poorly designed. The creator of the game, Tokuro Fujiwara, would get players to test every screen of the game, and if they found some pattern or exploit, he would immediately rush back to Capcom and implement a fix. It was designed to be a slow crawl, brutal and insurmountable, laughing at everyone who played it who got tantalizingly close to making progress. If the game hadn't been unfair, it's doubtful that it would have the legacy that it has today. And in some odd sense, that's something I have to respect. If Ultimate Ghosts N Goblins reception is any indication, the modern gaming populace isn't as forgiving to Ghosts N Goblins as it once was. There are still hard games, but they try their best to be hard, yet fair, and rightfully so. But there was a time where true unfairness and cheating was the pinnacle of addictive design. I don't know if this kind of game design will ever be accepted again, or if it's doomed to remain a relic of the past, but for better or for worse, it's how you design for masochism.